Small business war stories. Small businesses are the soul of America. And this is where they tell their stories. I am your host, Pablo Fuentes. Hey, lovers of small businesses and good stories in general. Welcome to episode 94 of Small Business War Stories. And today I sat down with Jeff Bean in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Jeff is the principal at Helix Metalworks. And he is a really cool cat. He's a very interesting guy who runs a shop that does metal fabrication. So we talk about what the history has been of metal fabrication, what the future is, and also what manufacturing and making things in the U.S. Looks like. And that's been a theme throughout a lot of our episodes. I've talked to a lot of folks who make things here in the U.S., and I've been really interested in learning more about, the dynamics of that. Like, what makes somebody do that? Why would you make something here? Why would you make something abroad? When does it make sense to do what? And we definitely get into that. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode, number 94, with Jeff Bean in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And today I have the pleasure and honor to sit down with Jeff Bean, who is the president, owner, and do-it-all man at Helix Metalworks.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's great to be here. We've spent some time in the shop here before. You're helping me with, finishing up the machining on some guitar knobs.
Sure.
And you have a lot of really interesting stuff going on here. And you do, I won't say your thunder, but it's kind of like custom metal fabrication would be the best way to describe it.
Job shop.
Job shop.
Yeah, but people come in with jobs, and if I can make money on it, I'll do it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So what inspired you to start this business? You started telling me a little bit before that you started going to college, but then you wanted to have a trade. Tell me more about that story.
Yeah, I basically had a passion. When I was younger, I had an uncle who was a tool and die maker for Chrysler in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Uh-huh. And we used to visit up north, and I can just remember the smells of his little machine shop, the cutting oil, basically it was the smell of the metal working that was going on down in his basement. And he passed away. He had a heart attack, passed away, and I was the one that willed all his equipment. So me and my father went up. I was probably 15 years old. We drove up there, and I got a lathe. Yeah. And it just sparked my passion.
Yeah. And just for our audience who may not know what a lathe is, what is a lathe?
A lathe makes the part spins and the tool is stationary. So usually it makes round pieces.
Okay.
Inside, outside, drilling, turning, things like that.
Okay.
I do remember walking down in his basement, and it's not typical to make wood things on a metal lathe, but he was making baseball bats for the baseball team.
Okay. On
his little metal lathe that I have in my shop right now that I showed you.
Wow.
So
the University of Michigan team?
No, probably a local little, maybe Boy Scout troop or
awesome.
One of those. But I do remember the smells. That was the thing that hit me the most, was the cutting oil and the smells and things whirling around and gears and belts flapping.
Metal shops definitely have a particular smell to them. Now that's a machine that you were telling me earlier. We were talking earlier about World War II.
Mm-hmm.
During World War II, you had the government would send people a lathe to their garage so that people would make parts for the war effort, right? And so that lathe was part of that.
That was one of those, yes, sir.
Wow.
You can trace it back to who it got. John Westfall is what was his name.
Wow.
In Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Wow.
So it's neat stuff.
So it used to be a lot more people made things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you'll find those little lathes every now and then. They're sought after to put in your garage for maintenance things, or you might want to piddle around and make something. You never know. It's just always good to have a lathe around. In my mind.
I do not currently have a lathe in my shop. It sounds. Wood shops and metal shops don't usually play well together.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because there's like.
Well, a metal shop's dirty. I don't have luck bringing wood into my shop because it's just so dirty.
Yeah.
A wood shop's a different dirt. It's sawdust, clean dirt.
Makes a lot of dirt.
But I know I can walk next door to the wood shop we have next door. Is a very nice cabinet maker next door, and I can't walk in and walk out and not be just look like a snowman, because all of the dust just is attracted to the oil from the machine shop.
Nice. Oh, so you go in there, you basically it's like putting a donut into the powdered sugar.
It's like a Swifter. It just comes on me.
That's funny. So tell me more about what the family aspect of this. So you and your father was involved in the shop, and he still is to some extent. What does that mean to you, and how did that come about?
I think my father, I was adopted, so he adopted us when we were probably, me and my brother were 7 and 8 years old. So he is a electrician by trade. And he is in the ministry. So I think he just saw my passion. He saw my passion for metalworking and being a machine shop and everything. And then he sees the struggles as an up-and-coming machinist that has some talent. You do tend to get moved into middle management in some companies, and then at this point you're just selling your hours.
Right.
And that's what drove me to get with my dad. My dad's co-owner of this business, and what he helps me out with is the networking, the safety, the processes, first article inspections, my overall quality policy, because that's what he does. He's better at the bookkeeping than I am.
Yeah.
And I like to be in the shop. I don't like to be in the front office. I think you have to do both, or at least have someone that can help you in the front. And that's what he does for me, is he helps keep toilet paper coming in and hand towels and such, where that's part of the thing that I just don't really have to mess with. He does the bookkeeping and accounting and all that, and I just run and gun. That's what I do. I run and gun, and he tells me, hey, we're doing good. We're making a little money. We're not making money, and I'm paying for his truck. He's got a brand new truck.
Okay.
So I pay him off making his payment on his truck, and it all works pretty good. I'm not rich, I'm not poor. I love my life. I just turned 51 the other day, and upon a little bit of reflection, I'm completely happy with where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd change the tiller. I might relocate a little bit of ballast in the ship, along the way, but I don't think I would have changed anything.
Okay.
Very
cool. And to put our audience here, so we are in a shop that's about 4,000 square feet?
3,500 square feet. Mm-hmm.
So better lucky than good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And there are quite a few machines. I want to say somewhere like 15 machines or so in here. Large machines plus all the smaller tools.
Yeah, I've got CNC milling, CNC turning,
Yeah.
CNC plasma cutting, and then I do a MIG, TIG, and stick welding. I can do manual turning up to 20-inch diameter and 12-foot long, so I do some large shaft work. You saw the cranes over in the shop, so I can manipulate some big items around the shop by myself.
What would be an example of something that you would need to make that's that big?
Say a coal roller shaft.
Okay.
We have a big coal-fired plant in Pryor, Oklahoma, and what they do is the coal trains dump the coal on a conveyor, and it gets moved up into the plant.
Right.
Those roll on basically big rubber belts that have roller shafts inside of those. They wear out, they come to me, I'll weld up a shaft or make a new shaft, and then back to them.
Got it. So that's really
It's
interesting.
onesie, twosie pieces. It's nothing really production.
Yeah.
There might be a production.
But because of that, they're probably quite pricey, right?
Yeah, and they're in a hurry for it.
Yeah, because
They'll
every moment that's not running, it's real dollars. Interesting. And you were showing me you have some really beautiful, very large commercial benches. Is that for like a restaurant or something like that?
I do custom build outs of some restaurants around town.
Okay.
Customers in Oklahoma City. Won't name drop, but you've probably sat on my bench or two.
Okay.
Around Tulsa.
Got it.
And I enjoy doing that. That's something that you get to sit down with a designer and actually they'll come up with a plan, and you just have to figure out how to make it. And I like the raw look, the raw industrial, riveted, big industrial look is what I like. Some customers don't always like that, but I'm a job shop, so I build what they want.
So sometimes you will build parts and then they'll have them painted and finished somewhere else? Okay. You don't do painting here? Okay.
I can't. I can do a clear coat. That's about it.
Yeah.
And I'll do that mostly everything I get gets sent out and gets powder coated.
Okay.
Clear powder coating or some industrial coating on it that spray can doesn't work on that.
Yeah.
That stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
It's because restaurants you got a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
You get rubbed a lot. Everything gets touched all the time. So that clear powder coating is the way to go.
Got it. Okay. And you said, when you were giving me a shop tour earlier, you said that was your favorite part of the job, right?
Man, my favorite part of the job is when that job's done and I get to put my little
little
logo on
the
the
little
top.
metal logo.
My little tag. That's my favorite.
Yeah. So you have you make those on a CNC machine?
Yeah, I make those on the CNC mill.
Right. And it say Helix Metalworks, and then you have a serial number. There was one lying around here somewhere.
Yeah, it says Helix Metalworks, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then it's got my phone number.
Oh, your phone
and
number.
That's to my hip, and I've got and that's a way to get more business.
Yeah.
I've had customers call and say, hey, this foot rail, simple foot rail on a bar. It's nothing fancy. It's just rectangular tube steel, cap the ends, make some base plates, and get it powder coated. But I'll put my tag on it, and the next thing you know, I'll get a phone call. Hey, I saw your tag on that foot plate, that footrest. Okay, what do you need? I have a good customer here that they actually own the Southern Hills Pro Shop, and she likes custom furniture. She'll come up with a design out of her head and draw it on. Everything starts on a piece of paper, so she'll draw it out, and I'll make it for her. And I've probably made 10 or 12 pieces of furniture for her home and their little business.
Okay.
Mirror enclosures for their dressing rooms, and it just seems like I'm a pretty friendly guy, so I get some pretty good repeat business.
Cool.
I try to make them happy.
Yeah. Build those relationships.
That's what it's all about.
Is that how most of your business? So let's talk. That's a great segue to how you get most of your business. Is most of it referral and like that tag and getting that branding out there? Do you do any advertising? How do you do it?
I use social media, Instagram, Facebook. I don't really promote anything on Facebook. I think that's a waste of money. I've tried it a couple times and don't really get anything. Sell through marketplace. That's one of the things that I need to focus on more is more sales calls, because I'd like to be more in the piece part manufacturing on my CNC machines than the industrial furniture stuff. There's always industrial furniture to be made. I would like my business to develop into a model where I have more CNC work coming through, where I've got some CNC operators up front that are doing piece part, open the door, take the part out, put the part in, shut the door, push a button, make a part. Mm-hmm. And it's just the skills gap. There's a large skills gap trying to get a good qualified fabricator in the back that can work with thin sheet metal, tubular, welding, and do a good job, because it's furniture. They're paying a lot of money for this stuff, and the finishing on the, welding, anybody can weld tube together, but it's making it look nice, making it an appealing product that someone wants to have in their restaurant or their house, or rather than just it looks like a wood rack.
Let's talk about this skills gap, because that's a really interesting thing. So you have in a lot of people who are unemployed, and then a lot of open jobs and a lot of demand, but those people cannot fill those jobs because of that skills gap, mm-hmm. right? Are you familiar with Skills USA? Mm-hmm. A long time ago, I almost say like 4 or 5 years ago, through my company, through Proven, we had a partnership with them, and we talked to them a lot about what it meant to educate people in the trades and making it so that, if you want to go to college and be an accountant or do, become a marketer or scientist, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But there's also very much a need and room for people to develop as a tradesperson. So what does that mean to you? What have you seen, and where do you see that today? And
well, I'm a product of the Tulsa County VOTEC system. I went to VOTEC when I was a junior.
What does VOTEC mean?
VOTEC, vocational technical. Okay. It's basically it's a technical college. I think they're affiliated with TCC now, mm-hmm. but Tulsa Technology Center is what it is. You can go learn welding. You can learn automotive mechanics. You can. Back when, I'm going to date myself, 1984 is when I went in. I was a junior, and we had to take machine tool turning, Actually, it was Introduction to Precision Measuring Instruments. So they taught you how to measure stuff first semester. And then you went to machine tool turning, so you learned the lathe. Then you had machine tool milling. These were all semester classes. And then they had an introduction to CNC, computer numerical control. And back in the day, CNC was just, you would find it in the large manufacturing facilities. There weren't pretty much anybody that had that stuff in their little job shops.
Right.
They were starting to show up. But, it just blew up from there. It just did. That's just the way things did. And the old hydraulic chuckers that we learned to use back when I was in high school got obsolete.
Yeah.
And you have to learn. You have to increase your knowledge to keep a job.
Right.
If you can't run that new machine, you're not going to be put on that new machine.
So let's talk about that. As technology evolves, and you and I were talking about 3D printing right before this, and you're talking about how folks are 3D printing metal. And how do we put that together with the skills gap in the sense of getting more people to I mean, first of all, is the stuff like some of the more hand operated stuff that you're doing here, is that going to go away in 20 years, or is that there's always going to be a need
There's
for that?
always going to be a need for it. I think it'll be diminished because there's always repair work to do, custom. Some of the shafts that I do, there are CNC machines that large that can do that, but they're not going to do a one-piece job, or they're going to want to
because the setup cost is too
setup
high.
costs too high. And but as far as the skills gap, the Votech here in town, they do a really good job. They've got great machinery, they've got great processes, they've got great teachers. I just think that a lot of these kids just think it happens. I get 25, I get a job, next thing you know, boom, I got the truck, the house, the car, the boat. It doesn't happen that fast.
Yeah.
It's a process. You got to go to work every day. I mean, if they ask me how do I get where you're at, I go to work every day.
Yeah.
Every day, get up every day, and it's an incremental thing. You're not ever going to just. I think they look for the big prize. Boom, the big. Okay, we're here. I've arrived. It never. It's an incremental thing to get to a point like that.
Yeah, so
it's every day.
You've never arrived, right? In the moment, in my experience, the moment you think you've arrived
No.
anywhere, you got what's coming. Something's coming to you because someone's going to sideswipe you.
But you talked about bad decisions in business and good decisions in business. I can say one of the worst decisions in business I did was to employ a kid out of the Votech.
Really?
That thought that he was ready, and in one day he cost me $8,600 when he crashed my lathe.
Oh no!
He's just pushing buttons for pushing buttons. Well, I just want to learn it. Well, no, you're not learning now. You're at work.
Oh, you got a visitor. All right. It happens. You got a shop. You're the one man running it.
I think I need to be a little bit more selective.
Yeah. So tell me more about that. So what did you learn from that? So I mean, I'm sure that this person made what they believe to be an honest mistake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He was just distracted. Just trying to think about too many things at one time rather than focusing on the job that he had.
What happened? The tool broke, or?
He smashed he drove the turret into the chuck.
Turret into I know where the chuck is. I know where the turret is.
The turret is where the tools are, and the chuck's spinning, and he ran into this.
Okay, so something's got to give.
He shouldn't have done what he did.
Yeah.
He was running parts. He had no business to be doing anything but running parts, but he decides he wants to start moving stuff around and changing some offsets and trying to make it go faster. He was honestly trying to do better, but he didn't need to. And I told him, you don't need to. Just put the parts in.
Yeah.
Make the parts.
But that was, let's talk about that. I would see that as, an unfortunate accident, but is that really a bad business decision to have done that? Because you were working with somebody who you thought was trustworthy, who was new, they made a rookie mistake, right? But I don't know.
I won't make that decision again.
Yeah. You're not going to hire anybody?
No, not from there, no.
Okay.
It's the same for me as hiring someone from the welding school here in town. There's a very large welding school here in town.
Yeah.
I won't hire any of those guys.
Okay.
Well, they go to welding school and they get pumped up with dreams and aspirations of going to make $150,000 on the road. Well, you can.
On the road, you mean like
pipeline
welding
welding.
pipes?
Yeah.
And those are the ones where I've spoken to somebody actually at a bar during my travels about this. That's the one where, you get paid a lot of money, but they X-ray every single weld, and if you miss one, you're fired, right?
And that's what they pump them up to do, and you can do that if you're a talented welder and want to go stay at camp, because basically you're camping the whole time, or at a hotel.
And it's usually you're not going to New Orleans or Vegas. It's like out
North
Athabasca.
Dakota, absolutely. And they get pumped up to do that, and then what they really need to do, and I'm just in my opinion, is they need to settle into a shop and learn how to weld. They need to learn their trade.
Okay.
Because you've just been taught how to at school for 9 weeks or wherever it is.
Now do it 10,000 times.
Yeah, now do it 10,000 times and you're going to be good, And I've given a few of them opportunities to come work here and hone their craft. That's what I would say. I'd say you're honing your craft. And they're like, well, I'm not making $150,000. No, you're not. You're not going to in town when you get to go home every night and sleep sleep in a good bed.
Yeah.
You're not going to make that money. And I think there's just there's a disconnect in what they've been taught and what reality is. Reality is hard work.
Yeah.
Reality is working all week long, showing up every day and getting a paycheck at the end of the week.
Right, and then building a name for yourself, and then eventually.
Absolutely. Saving some of that money, don't spend it all, and then next week you're going to have a little bit more, and then the next week you're going to have a little bit more, and I think that's things just don't happen like the lottery. You got to work. You got to work every day. Every day.
And actually, as a matter of fact, when they do happen like the lottery, most times people waste it because they don't understand all the hard work that went into it.
Mike Rowe, Jesse James. I mean, I could mentors, people that inspire me. The motorcycle Jesse James. He came from nothing.
Yeah.
And built a lot of stuff from. He's had good. When he sold T-shirts at Walmart, that was the biggest thing. I remember he sat down and talked to Kid Rock about it, and Kid Rock was like, "Man, put T-shirts in Walmart. You're gonna make $16 million overnight." And he's like, "Well, I just don't know if I want to." He's like, "Man, it's a gift horse. It's looking you right in the face. Grab it, take it." He's inspirational to me. There are a lot of people that I follow on Instagram as far as machinists and fabricators. Good, hardworking people that go to work every day. I can go and I can say, all right, he's at work. Let's check out what he's doing for this day. And yep, sure enough, he's at work.
Yeah.
Got a delivery coming.
You got a delivery of tires.
That's the tire store next door.
Oh, the tire store next door. Okay.
We're limited parking here, so.
Yeah.
But
hey, we're doing. This is real. This is on the road. This is not some control studio. No. This is a mobile studio, and sometimes the studio's got tire deliveries. So.
But I love my job. I love what I do. I think most of my customers see my passion.
Yeah.
When they bring me a project, and I'll see it through to completion. And
yeah.
Maybe I don't charge as much as I should. Who knows?
Okay.
That's kind of one of the things that Dad's here for, to help me adjust shop rates and keep.
But something that's really impressive about what you said is like, I do believe that you want to keep learning and keep doing stuff. So let's get back to. I really want to tie that back to, how people like the trades are evolving and the skills gap, and tie that to the future of metal fabrication and things like that. So as you get more 3D printing, who's teaching these things now, and who's learning these things, such that who are going to be the people that are going to be doing this in 50 years?
Well, Autodesk, who are the makers of a product called Fusion 360,
okay,
which is a drafting program. Back in my day, we learned on AutoCAD. Everything starts with paper. You have to have an idea, and it starts with paper, and then it gets drawn up into some form or another.
That's
3D modeled.
That's how I make guitar parts.
Absolutely, it gets 3D modeled, and then you turn that into machine code. There are a lot of schools out here that are online classes that are teaching the Fusion 360. It's great. They can model, they can make stuff, they can send it to a 3D printer just from that free programmer. It's free to students. For me, it cost me money, but there's online classes. They push it. You can go to a university where it's taught in school. I mean, it would be advantageous for people to learn how to draw, to learn how to model, because it's hard to take something in your mind and put it on a piece of paper, and for you to grasp what I'm, we can't do the Vulcan mind meld thing.
Yep.
We can't do that.
Yep.
But that's a way that people can, you can visualize, this is what I'm looking at. Is this what you like? Yes, this is what I like.
Okay.
But still in the machine shop, you still have hands-on, there's still going to be places for operators. I don't see ever that the operator positions are going to go away.
Okay.
But those are the low paid, lesser skilled people that are just opening the door and putting the part in and putting the door and making a part, running it through inspection, writing down a little bit of inspection data and moving on. And then you've got people that are driven, that want to learn, that move up through the ranks of the machine shop, and then the next thing you know, he's the setup guy, or he's the programmer, or he's the foreman, working for a big place. That's kind of what I need here. I need someone that, it's like I say, it's hard to clone yourself. It's hard to hire someone that's just like you. I do know how to do everything out there, and I'd like to pass that on. It's hard to get on.
Have you ever thought about taking on? I mean, well, we already talked about kind of what happened. Yeah, an apprentice or something like that.
Yeah, I'm still looking for it's going to have to be a right fit.
Yeah,
it really is. It's. I'm very driven, and if this person's not driven, it's not going to work out well.
Right, because you're going to get annoyed at it's doing it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It boils down to it's time. I get paid for my time to make stuff, and I know there's a learning curve on new employees and things. It takes 6 to 8, 9, 12 weeks to get them up to speed, but at some certain point, you can make a judgment call whether they're going to make it or not.
Sure.
And cut, bake, I'll get another.
So you've had attempts at having an apprentice?
Absolutely.
How many times?
4 or 5.
Okay. And
I had a real good one. She goes Instagram by Conventional Machinist.
Okay.
It's a woman.
Okay.
Really good. I can see that the women I've hired are a lot better machinists and more attentive than the men that I've hired. She actually furthered her career by moving north, where all of the heavy, you think we have heavy industry down here. We really don't.
So Ohio,
compared to
Michigan.
Yeah, Ohio, Chicago. She actually moved into the Chicago area to further her. She just had a thirst for knowledge. Just wanted to learn everything she possibly could. And when she learned everything in my shop, she went on somewhere else.
What's she doing now?
I think she's moved back to Arkansas, and she's working at, I think it's Learjet or Cessna. Big job, big place.
Yeah.
Learning more.
Because there are a lot of these manufacturing shops have things, versions of what we have here.
Absolutely, tool rooms.
Yeah, tool rooms.
That's what she does.
Okay.
And she's really good at it, and that's one of the ones, she'll go far in this business.
Yeah.
I've got friends in town that are real successful, machine shop owners that pass it on to their sons, and they're real successful. It's just it's work.
Yeah.
It's work building a business. It really is. It's getting out, making sales calls, and putting good products down on the table, and making sure you meet delivery deadlines, and watching the bottom line, and coolant, way lube, cutting tools, electricity, air. All these things have to be in place.
People love the glory of the truck with the name on the side or the boat, but like you said, like the things that happen behind the scenes for all this to happen.
I got that old truck out there, and everybody's like, "Hey man, I love your old truck." My first response is, "It was a lot of work."
Yeah.
I just want you to let you know.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work. It just doesn't happen. Where'd you buy it? I didn't buy it. I built it.
Yeah.
It took me 3 solid months.
Yeah. It's how we have people talk to me about the podcast. My God, it must be so amazing to be on the road all the time talking to people. I'm like, it's a ton of driving. Mm-hmm. You got to unload, and I'm travel with my dog and with a guitar, and you got to unload everything, load it back on. and then like coordinate with people, making sure that you're on time for the interviews, making sure that you got the questions ahead of time. So yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes.
Well, school, machine shop, paid my way through school. I did drop out of college. I didn't finish it. I've got 90 some odd hours in mechanical engineering. Basically, I was learning to be a draftsman.
Yeah.
And I thought about going back and finish it, but why at this point? It's a waste of money for me to go. I use it every day in my office.
Yeah.
I'm probably better on Fusion 360 and CAD than most of these, coming straight out of college anyways.
Okay.
So,
have you thought about teaching?
yeah, I actually taught for a semester at the Votech here.
Yeah.
It's just there's not enough money in it. I can't. It's $40 an hour for 6 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's hard to do other things and
and the switching cost mentally for you from going to teaching to getting
doing
there.
to making.
Yeah.
Then I worked in machine shops for a while. Worked for big companies, McDonnell Douglas, Caterpillar, some places around here in Tulsa.
Yeah.
And then I got into sales. I figured that was my best avenue to go to, and I actually sold cutting tools like this right here.
Okay.
For a company called Iskars, an Israeli carbide company. And
is this what is this used to cut? This is this is wildly heavy.
Yeah, they're tools for the metalworking industry, like mill cutters or turning inserts to go in the mills or the lathes. Mm-hmm. And I ended up being a product manager for them. I worked for them for about 6.5 years. And it's like you said.
That's before you opened the shop.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of travel.
Yep.
Gone 3 weeks out of the month.
Yep.
You're Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and Missouri was my territory.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a lot of travel.
Yeah. Oh, I've actually driven those highways between here, Springfield, like out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I loved the job, loved selling. It was more on the support end of it than the sales, but it was all sales anyways.
Yeah.
And then I started selling machine tools, the actual lathes and the mills. I was a salesman selling those machines that are capital expenditures for big businesses.
Yep.
And so the suit and the tie and the expense account and all that stuff flying around town.
The leather bag.
Yeah. Man, I just the sales deal, getting paid was the hardest thing. Getting those commission checks paid. Working for a small guy that's selling machines and it didn't work out real well.
Got it.
I like getting paid.
And then that's when you decided to start.
That's when I decided. I jumped back into the machine shop just for a little bit.
But all those sales skills probably help you quite a bit, right? I mean, like even something as small as like putting on the branding on the, because you don't see, not everybody who custom metal fabricates furniture does that.
Mm-mm. Just one of those things.
Yeah.
You got to have your name out there.
Yeah.
Just like on a sales call, you always want to have.
Yeah.
You want to give the customer something.
How did I find you? I found you on Instagram by searching for the hashtag Made in Tulsa. That's what it was. And then I was
That's cool.
Yeah.
I do a lot of stuff here. I mean, I'll travel.
Yeah.
I'll travel and go do a job, but mostly in the green country is where I want to be.
I do want to touch upon something so it's a good segue here. You're showing me this Israeli tool here. So let's talk about the importance of American manufacturing and where American manufacturing is now on the world stage with everything. I mean, you have labor costs. I was talking yesterday with Black Dog Traders in Dallas, and he said the labor costs can be as small as 1/20th in other places as they are here. And then what does it mean? Let's talk about from a philosophical standpoint and from a practical standpoint, like what's the importance of American manufacturing and how do you foster that?
I think it's very important for us to keep manufacturing here. I think of course we pay more for labor. I have a friend that's in the big machine shop industry, and they have a plant in China. And they say that their labor cost is 20% of what it is.
$20, so 1/5. Okay.
Yeah, 1/5 of what it is here. And he actually went to China to help them on a line that they were making. And they were opening up a Black & Decker plant next door to this facility that he was at. And he said there was a line going all the way around the corner for like a mile of people that are going to work. They're going to apply for those jobs down there. It's like $8 a day, but everybody's making $8 a day. My opinion, I would rather pay someone more money to do a job in America and know that it's made here. Okay, there is a little bit of patriotism.
That's an emotional attachment.
It's an emotional. It's a patriotism
Yeah.
thing for me. Okay, because that money is going to stay in America. It gets spent here. It's going to get respent here. Hopefully, they buy stuff that's made in America too.
Right.
Made in USA is a big thing for me. But a lot of this stuff we buy, it is made in China, and it's the tools that you buy at Harbor Freight or they're junk. They're good for a little small job.
Yeah.
For a home, you just have to.
But some stuff is getting better.
Some stuff is getting better. It's a lot better.
Like a lot better.
A lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chinese made CNC routers are nice.
Yeah.
They just don't have the seamless integration and the user ability, the friendliness of use.
Yeah.
They're a little bit clunky when you start programming them.
Right.
That's the only thing, is there's not a good user interface
But
to the English
that might
market.
get better in the next 10
And
years.
it probably will.
Yeah.
It probably will. They're putting out some good stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, we make some good stuff. The Germans make lots of good stuff.
Right.
I mean, as
And
far
they
as
have for a
machinery
long time.
goes, the Japanese, the Germans, the Koreans, the South Koreans, they make some fantastic machinery. We don't really make. Everybody will say, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but the Haas machines that everybody are made in America, they're junk. They're junk compared to the Japanese stuff, the German stuff. I mean, if you want to go buy a nice machine tool, you're looking at a German machine or a Japanese machine.
Okay.
The Haas machines that are made in California, they're a throwaway machine. You'll use them 5 to 7 years and throw them away or dump it down the line. They are getting better. There's a lot of people that go by that philosophy, is I'm going to get new equipment in my shop every 5 to 7 years because the technology is just advancing so much that I want the next best, latest, greatest thing. And I gotta hand it to them. Haas puts all their machines in all of the Votex, so the kids are learning on a Haas. And if you have a Haas in your shop, they're I can do this. It's easy. It's just like school. So there's a little bit of carryover, and that's marketing. I mean, that's what they're doing, is they're marketing to the schools to make sure that their students know how to run their.
Here's a free tool.
Here's a free brand. Make sure they know how to run this brand, so that when they go look for a job, they're going to look for a shop with that brand, which they all do the same thing. They make parts. But as far as the longevity, the Japanese stuff and the German stuff is way better than anything we make.
Right. But there's a lot of stuff that's made here that's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Absolutely. I'd love to have a nice Haas lathe out there.
Yeah.
Because then the Votech kids know how to run it.
They don't run
the Japanese stuff, the Fanuc stuff, they don't like.
Got it. Can you tell me what, other than an $8,000 lathe problem, what a time when things were real wrong for your business and what you do about it?
Oh. Nothing really. I mean, I wrecked my motorcycle and couldn't work for 2 weeks. That was horrible. That you want to kind of plan for things like that. And maybe have and I had jobs in here. I just couldn't get anybody to do them. Yeah. That's my whole thing is trying to find good help that wants to show up every day. And stay off their phones. Yeah. You got lunch. You got breaks. You can check your phone. You've got time during the day to check your messages and things and look at Facebook and stuff. But you're here. Let's work.
You got to focus.
I'm paying you good money. Let's just work. Let's knock this out. That's my biggest hurdle right now. It's small business financing and finding employees.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
That's my hurdle.
Yeah, let's talk about the financing part a little bit. So that's a big challenge for you said, and it's mostly related to buying raw materials, right?
Yeah, it's the materials for the job. People want you to quote a job, and it could be $8,000 worth of material.
Yeah. Do you ask for advances ever?
Well, you have to on something like that, but it's a touchy thing asking for money down. Because no other shops in town, they've got the working capital to say, okay, well, fine, I'll order that $8,000 of material. I'll let it ride on my books for 45 days.
If they pay on time.
For 75 days. I've got one customer that's net 75.
Fuck.
75 days they want me to wait around.
That's a long time.
75 days is a long time.
It's cash on the shelf.
Yep, sure is. And you can't charge them extra for that. It is what it is. And then you've got a shop across the street that, he's been in business for 35 years, and he can handle stretching that $8,000 out for 75 days. Whereas me, that'll kill me. I mean, for me to have to come up with $8,000 for 75 days to do a job that I'm going to make, you always want to make more money. Sure, it's a big payday at the end, but you ran your shop for a whole 3 weeks, didn't get anything else pushed through. So you ran that 3 weeks on that job that's going to pay back in 75 days.
Yeah.
So I've got 1 week to scramble to do
And you got
the cash jobs, to pay all the bills and the rent, electricity, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, it's a tight walk. It's a tightrope walk.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is, I wish I would have taken a little bit more business classes. I mean, I'm good at what I do as far as the making.
Yep.
It's the other side of the door that I seem to have a little bit of problems with.
But your dad
challenges.
helping you with that.
He helps me with that too, but he should be in the twilight of his life right now. He's 75 years old. He should be fishing more than he does.
Yeah.
And he just got back from Daytona Beach for 2 weeks. He just took off down there, and I'm like, "Go, Dad, go. It's your time. You don't need to be here. I don't want him here. He doesn't need to be here." But anytime I've got help, if I need help, I holler at him.
Yeah. And there are no products out there that help small businesses. There must be some companies.
There are. The problem is, here's my problem. I have to stop making to go start sales calling, to go start shopping for financing, loans, things like that.
They ask you for all this paperwork.
Oh, you can spend a week on one place just to get turned down, and then this, and then that. You don't have enough this, and then they won't show up, and they won't walk through the shop to see that there's capital equipment out there. I mean, I've got $90,000 worth of stuff out there and just a couple machines.
Yeah.
But they won't walk in and say, "Okay, well, that's paid for. That's paid for. Well, okay, fine. You've got enough stuff in here. Here's your little, working capital loan."
Yeah.
I don't want to get my home involved in the business.
Yeah.
As far as getting a home equity loan on the house for the business. No, I think the business ought to run off its own.
Yeah.
And that's just needs to take some time and do it. That's the thing, is when I take time to do sales calls or take time to really foster a customer relationship, I'm taking time away from actual making in the shop. So it's a struggle as a one-man band.
Yeah.
It really is. It's I wouldn't want to change it.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do anything else. I love it. I love my job.
Yeah.
If I want to go fishing today, guess what? I'm gonna shut the door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go fishing.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have any customers that are just, and you try to let them know and say, "Hey."
Yeah. Do you sell retail? So you have you were showing me these F-bombs. So you make these F-bombs.
Everybody makes F-bombs.
So it's like a bomb with an F in it, and you make trailer hitches and bottle openers and
custom metal.
Can people buy this stuff on Instagram?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call me, and I've got some art in New York and Hawaii, and
cool.
People will just call and want me to make something. Most of these files are American flags, and like the original Oklahoma 46 flag behind you. There's a bar downtown called the 46 Bar.
Okay.
That is the original Oklahoma flag when our state capital was in.
The state flag now is a light blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
With the Indian. It used to be just like that.
Okay.
With just a 46, because we were the 46th state.
Yeah, I like the flag.
I do like that, but there was a bar downtown that opened up, and that was Bar 46, and they commissioned me to make a couple of those for their bar, and I just make a couple extra. And next thing you know, it's on Instagram, and the next thing you know, somebody wants one, and you're making a few, and it's just word of mouth. They get out.
Cool.
It's kind of a cool thing. Everybody makes those flat, tattered flags. I just don't do that. I do a raised version of it, and it looks a little bit better. It's a little bit higher price point.
Yeah.
I've got a few of those in restaurants around town.
Cool.
With my tag on it, and people will call, and that's a word of mouth thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also it's an ebb and flow with the political season too.
Yeah.
If we're feeling all patriotic, I'll sell those.
Yeah.
If we're all in the muck and the mire and everybody's all pissed off, I don't sell any of those. It's just how it is.
Yeah, it's the emotional ups and downs.
Yep.
What would you say is the number one piece of advice that you have for people who are either in their small business right now or considering starting a small business?
Just YouTube, research.
Yeah, learn.
Network. Be nice to everybody. I'm an asshole sometimes. I'm a shop asshole. You catch me in the shop on a bad day, I'm gonna run you out. I'm busy. I don't have time. Because a potential customer can come in, and I'm still small enough to where they can I have access to them. They can walk right in and boom, here's my problem. Okay, well, I can talk 15 minutes to you about your problem while I should have been getting paid doing another job. Okay, and a lot of times you just have to put a halt to it. Yeah. Say, okay, listen, I'm on someone else's clock right now.
Yeah.
If you leave your project and your drawing, or I'll send them home. Put what's in your head on paper and then bring it back to me.
Right.
Because we're just wasting time right now. I'm wasting my time because I'm not on your clock.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Well, I appreciate you sitting down for the podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Fridays are usually I wind down and put my tags on the stuff and get everything ready for shipping, and then I start looking at work for next week. I'm a single dad, so I'm real busy at that.
Yeah.
Go-karts and hot rods and skateboards and motorcycles, awesome. Awesome. Been taking off a little time to go see our new park here in town, the Gathering Place.
Okay.
That is awesome. That is an awesome deal.
I'll check it out.
Yep, you should.
Where can people find you? So what are your Instagram handles, your web address?
I am helixmetalworks.com.
Yep.
I am jbean at helixmetalworks.com is my email. I am on Instagram. I am Helix Metalworks on Instagram, Mr. Bean. And I am on Facebook, Helix Metalworks.
Sounds good.
I'm all over.
Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down today with Small Business War Stories, and best of luck with your continued success.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Small Business War Stories. Small businesses are the soul of America. And this is where they tell their stories. I am your host, Pablo Fuentes.